Hey, what is up, guys? My name is Dylan Vega, as you all know. Today I'm going to be making my video on Jimmy Carter. Now, Republicans try to put out that Jimmy Carter was the worst president in the history of the U.S. But I'm here to dispute that claim. Because he actually had a lot of accomplishments during his administration that a lot of presidents haven't even done in 8 years. I'm here to tell you those accomplishments. And even though he might not have been the greatest by far, I'm not saying that he was a good president or a great president. I'm just saying that he wasn't a bad president. And I'm here to dispute the Republicans' claim. So I hope you pay attention. I hope you like this video. And I hope if you're one of the people that believe that, you change your mind. Thank you guys, and I'll continue on with the video. Hey, what is up, guys? I'm back, and now I'm on the website. This is a pretty reliable website called Cura.com, and it's an information website, and this is where I'm getting my information from. This website, angering, you have to admit that before I start talking that he was also, part of it was because he got a bad rap because he started out in a weak economy with the unemployment rates at like 10%. And the economy just wasn't going well. He started in a recession. So part of it was really just the circumstances. He was the president that came in during the wrong time. So that was part of the reason why he didn't get a second term and he went down as such a bad president. And another reason was angering the Congress. Carter was an outsider, with an explicit mandate from the people to clean up Washington, especially after Nixon's fiasco. However, his zeal put him at odds with the Congress and prevented him from enacting things he wanted. He threatened to veto all the pork bill spending, and that angered a lot of established interest presidential influence. And the politics of pork by Scott, that's the author's name, sorry, I didn't mean to read that. But anyway, basically what's that stating right there, the angering the Congress, was basically Congress became a do-nothing Congress. And, kind of like we have right now with President Obama. Or even Truman, for example. It was a do-nothing Congress. The Congress just absolutely wouldn't pass a single thing that Jimmy Carter wanted. So, therefore, he couldn't get nothing done. So, so that part wasn't his fault. That was another reason why we didn't come out of recession as quick, because he couldn't get nothing done, and he vetoed it, the pork bill, and he vetoed a lot of stuff just to come back on Congress, to try to get Congress to do stuff. And another reason was, and I'll continue reading, Carter brought out a comprehensive health care insurance plan that even had support from the Republicans, but his own party dished him. His FDR-esque legacy was robbed by powerful interests in his own party. So this was basically a universal health care plan, kind of like Obamacare. Even was supported by Republicans, but his own party dished him. So his own party dished him to keep FDR's legacy, basically, and robbed the powerful interest in his own party. And that's terrible. He would have had universal health care if it wasn't for his own party ditching him. Even the Republicans agreed with it. And now the second one was a bad economy, like I was talking in the beginning. Carter was given a pretty poor economic situation due to global conditions. Oil prices were around $10 in early 70s. By late the 70s, it was close to $100, both in today's dollars. This was due to a major crisis in the Middle East and the end of the gold standard under Nixon. Image paying $40 a gallon for gas in the next 2 years from about $3 now. That is the kind of shock that the consumers had. Carter tried to advocate conserving energy for the public use the cheap oil that transition proved very difficult. To control the inflation that was in double digits, Carter brought in Paul Volcker. Volcker attacked inflation mercilessly by taking interest rate to 15%. That spooked the housing market and anyone trying to take debt. The shock measure was necessary for the economy, but the people tasting the bitter medicine for the first time revolted. See the spite at the right. That was by Volcker and the highest ever in American history. So basically that's what it's stating there, that because of the crisis in the Middle East, we had high gas, and to come back on inflation, he raised the interest rates, or he brought in Paul Volcker to raise the interest rates to 15%. Now the crisis of confidence was the energy speech, one of the most famous energy speeches that Carter ever gave in his administration. But I'm not gonna play the speech because I don't want to get copyright, first of all, and two, it's very time consuming, so I want to wrap things up. But let's continue. On July 15, 1979, reeling from the energy crisis, Carter gave the most famous speech on his term. He was frank, open, and transparent. However, suffering from severe pain, people took it as a sign of weakness. He didn't help things by asking the resignation of his entire cabinet in the following 2 days. In summary, it was a combination of a bad economy, inexperience with Washington, and being too frank, transparent, proved deadly for Carter. Carter was not weak. He was in... Oh, this was the comments. My bad. Sorry, it's very confusing. That was the crisis of confidence speech. That was about energy conservation, because he was a very good activist for that, and he actually got it done. Now, this is stuff that President Carter deserved credit for, and they actually did in the administration. Bringing down the deficit, Camp David, the Panama Canal Treaty, making human rights a core element for U.S. foreign policy. Being the first president to seriously address energy conservation since World War II. Had his successor continued the fuel efficiency standards and let them increase as originally intended, we would not be importing foreign oil. And sorry guys, my phone tablet kind of went off there, my bad. But let's continue. So the last achievement I made, if you didn't get all that, was about energy conservation. And if Reagan would have continued with that, then we wouldn't have be importing foreign oil, which we don't really import much of foreign oil anyway, knowing that we found a lot of oil on our own ground. That's why gas prices are going down like crazy. But we wouldn't have been importing foreign oil if we stuck with Jimmy Carter's plan. The other achievement that he deserves credit for is doubling the size of the National Park System with Alaska National Interest Lands Conservation Act. So he doubled the size of national parks. Transportation deregulation. Creating a super fund to clean up toxic messes like Love Canal. That was a canal. Granting amnesty to those who fled to Canada to avoid the draft, putting the war behind us. Then there was Iran. There was the Iran hostage crisis when he was president. Then that took most of his career. I'm going to tell you this. And then there was Iran. He had wrongly claimed to have asked the Shah to step down. He did not. He did not do that whatsoever. It was just a misunderstanding by the Shah. The Shah did not realize the rivalry between Secretary of State Vance and National Security Advisor Brzezinski. So he did not ask the Shah to step down at all. That never happened. The hostage crisis ruined the Carter presidency. I was very critical of the failed rescue mission, only to later find out that, but for the mechanically failures, it had a good chance of success, Carter said. So even with the failures, it had a good chance of success if he continued. Then there was the prolonged negotiations to end the crisis. Recently, former Iranian President Bani Said, I don't know that word, I'm sorry guys, had confirmed that there was a deal with the Reagan campaign to hold off releasing the hostages. Well, I think the name is Bani Said. Well, anyway, I will continue, I'm sorry guys. Carter's failure seemed epic at the time, and it enabled a dramatic turn right. One can only imagine where the country would be today if Ford had won in 1976 and got Carter's economy. If Carter had won in 1980, if Kennedy had faced Reagan. So, I hope you like this, guys, and I hope it made you change your mind on the thoughts of Jimmy Carter's presidency. That he wasn't as bad as people thought he did. Look at all the accomplishments he did that he deserved credit for, they never got credit for. Look at all the stuff that he tried to do, but he pissed off the Congress. Well, he didn't, because he just won the presidency. So they just said, well, we're just not going to pass anything. Kind of like what they did to President Obama. It's terrible. Of course, he had a lot of failures, and that's why he wasn't that good of a president. Like, he could have done better with Iran, but he tried his best, and his best wasn't good enough, apparently, and he wasn't, what my point being is, he wasn't that bad of a president that people tried to put out that he was. So, I hope you liked this, guys. I hope it was very educational. I hope you got something out of it, and please subscribe. Check out my buddy's studio, Randy's Outdoor Productions, and may God bless the United States of America. Now, a lot of presidents haven't even done in 8 years. And I'm here to tell you those accomplishments. And even though he might not have been the greatest by far, I'm not saying that he was a good president or a great president. I'm just saying that he wasn't a bad president. And I'm here to dispute the Republicans' claim. So I hope you pay attention. I hope you like this video. And I hope if you're one of the people that believe that, you change your mind. Thank you guys, and I'll continue on with the video. Hey, what is up, guys? I'm back, and now I'm on the website. This is a pretty reliable website called Cura.com, and it's an information website. And this. Hey, what is up, guys? My name is Dylan Vega, as you all know. Today I'm going to be making my video on Jimmy Carter. Now, Republicans try to put out that Jimmy Carter was the worst president in the history of the U.S. But I'm here to dispute that claim. Because he actually had a lot of accomplishments during his administration. Well, I'm getting my information from. This website, angering, you have to admit that, before I start talking, that, he was also, part of it was because he got a bad rap, because he started out in a weak economy with the unemployment rates at like 10%. And the economy just wasn't going well. He started in a recession. So part of it was really just the circumstances. He was the president that came in during the wrong time. So that was part of the reason why he didn't get a second term and he went down as such a bad president. And another reason